New York is no stranger to terror. Tonight, once again, it is a city in mourning after an attack that is becoming all too familiar. 8 people were killed and more than a dozen injured when a man in a rented pickup truck plowed through cyclists and pedestrians on a busy bike path. It happened in Lower Manhattan along the West Side Highway, not far from the World Trade Center. At 3:05 p.m., the man entered the bike path at Houston Street. He drove south about 20 blocks, hitting multiple people along the way. At Chambers Street, the truck crashed into a school bus, injuring 2 adults and 2 children. Stephen D'Souza picks up the story from there.
The mayor called it a cowardly act of terror, a popular bike path transformed into a scene of horror. At first, people thought someone had opened fire on a crowd.
It happened out of nowhere. I was walking down the street, it was a normal day, and just out of nowhere I see people running and screaming, and then just multiple gunshots, one after another.
Moments before, a man in a rental truck from Home Depot drove along the bike path, striking pedestrians, cyclists, even a school bus.
Central, be advised, we have multiple people on the ground.
Audio from police dispatch gives you a sense of the chaos at the scene.
We got multiple casualties. This is a mass casualty situation here.
The suspect then got out of the truck, holding what police say were 2 fake guns. Witnesses and police sources say the suspect then shouted, "Allahu Akbar."
Oh my God!
Those shots people had heard, that was police shooting and injuring the suspect.
When I look down to see where the truck went, I hear 9 to 10 gunshots, and that's when I duck out of the way, and all the police, came running towards where I was, not knowing what's going on. They don't know what happened.
Police credit an officer at the scene for getting the suspect into custody. Reports say he is a 29-year-old from Uzbekistan named Safalo Saipov. Police say they believe this was the work of one man and that there was no wider plot. But just a few blocks away from the World Trade Center, officials say they know they're always a target and that there's always a constant threat.
We know that this action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us.
Now, New York is a city on alert tonight. There is a heightened police presence on bridges and tunnels, as well as at transit hubs and tourist sites like Times Square. The police say it's not because there is a current threat, but they say it's out of an abundance of caution. Heather.
Steve, we know the suspect has had surgery and is in custody tonight. What more do we know about him?
Law enforcement sources are saying that the suspect left a note in the truck where he pledged allegiance to ISIS, and that's part of the basis for saying that this is a terror attack. And they say that he had a license from Florida and that he spent time there as well as living in New Jersey more recently, that he came to the U.S. in 2010. So investigators now are going to be combing through his life as they are here at the scene to try to determine a motivation for this deadly attack.
Stephen D'Souza, thank you very much in New York City tonight, and we're going to check in with you a little bit later.